Testing.
Is this thing on?
1, 2, 3.
We just want to know, is this thing on?
Is this?
Good afternoon, Christian Mingle. Facebook, Instagram, tagged, Hollywood stars, Oprah, Barbara Walters. Oh, wait, did Barbara Walters pass? Yeah. All right.
Another.
I don't want to act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I might fall down on my face. So I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day.
I said, wait a minute. Who done cut out? I said, wait a minute. Who done cut out? No, for real. Who done cut out? But what's up, y'all? We're back.
Like we never left.
Again.
It's your girls.
Wait, we're back with another episode.
Another
week.
Another insert.
Another installment of your favorite podcast, Transparent Energy, with your hostesses, with the mostesses,
the lovely Lady Bambi D
and Jordan B. And we're recorded live
from the 215.
Okay, we're Get Silly
in Philly, and we are the only TWOC podcast in Philly.
How you doing?
I need to put that out there. The only.
Yes. I love that for us. I love that for us. But yes, y'all, thank you for joining us again on another episode, another week. And yes, we're glad again that you guys that have viewed our most recent episodes, and thanks for the feedback. Thank you for the new subscribers, and thank you for the the ghost riders. The ghost.
There's plenty.
The ghost watchers.
Okay.
But again, thank y'all for tuning in, and we appreciate it. And we're back again with another jam-packed episode full of love, light, laughter, and important information that we want to bring into your everyday lives. So yes, we're back.
And when we say jam-packed,
we have a really jam-packed show. It's a really jam-packed show. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's on a Sunday. You already know our pod days are Sundays, so it's a beautiful Sunday. We've gotten through another week. Thank God. Look, we're back, we're alive, and we're here, and I just thank God that we're in the number once again, because someone didn't see today, someone didn't make it, to another week, someone didn't even make it to another second. But guess what?
You did.
You did.
And
we did.
Yeah.
So God is good.
All the time.
So look, you already know what we do. Before we go any further, we would like to Christian the atmosphere with our positivity and positive words of affirmation. And you guys know, like how we always say, that you have to speak positivity over yourself, over your lives, and those close to you. Because listen, the more you say it, you'll start to believe it. And the more you believe it, you will start to see it. It's all about belief, baby.
And that's real. So this week I'll start.
Yeah, you start.
And I'll let you continue after me. We will educate ourselves consistently.
Woo! We will educate ourselves consistently. Woo, baby.
We will develop skills to articulate verbally.
We will articulate what?
We will develop skills.
We will develop the skills
to articulate verbally. We will not be controlled by our emotions.
Oof, we will not be controlled by our emotions. That's a hard one, guys.
It is, but
That's
we
one of
have
my
to
hardest ones.
we have to say these
We just talk
things
about
in
that,
order
yeah.
to overcome them.
Yeah.
We are loved,
We are loved.
so we give love.
We are loved. So we give love.
And finally, we are rewarded for our work and nothing else.
We are rewarded for our work and nothing else.
Because that's real.
Like you said here, it's like right in my
I see it too.
You see it? Yeah. Yep, right there.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, it's like wearing me out.
See?
Okay, cool. Yes.
See, that's awesome.
That's how it does. Friends of mine. All right. And now onto mine. We are abundant.
We are abundant.
We are majestic.
We are majestic.
We are achievers.
We are achievers.
We are above and not beneath.
We are above and not beneath.
We are first and not last.
We are first and not last.
We are the head and not the tail.
We are the head and not the tail.
And we are sober.
We are sober.
Yes. And that can mean a lot of different ways. Sober-minded, sober in, actions and deeds and, different. That can mean whatever it means for you.
Right. For me, it's sober in control. I am sober in control.
Yeah,
I'm not the type of person. I'm not the type.
We need our own BAM dictionary, Bambi B dictionary, and whole everything. She has her own everything. Yo, I love it.
I am sober in control. As I was saying, I'm not the type of person. I don't blame anybody for my actions, which keeps me in control to not do anything foolish or to make anybody point at me and say, you know what I mean?
Like what is she giving?
What is she giving? What is she doing?
Yeah, what is she giving and what is she doing?
Yes,
I like that.
So I'm sober in control,
I like that. I love that. I love that. I love how you make it all fit together. But yes, we're sober. And well, getting on to let's go. Now you never can start and go into our whole hot topics.
Well, before we get to the hot topics, I want to ask you really quick, how you feeling?
Honestly, I'm feeling much better.
Okay.
Now that we have, I think, started the pod. I was really just a little bit irritated earlier. But I feel much better now. So I'm proud of it. That's it for me. How about you?
I share that. I feel better. On top of that, I feel great because I missed you.
I missed you too. We always.
And I know
such a time.
we were probably we were together last week. The demons.
Right.
No. We were together last week, but you know what? It seems like I got things going on in my life, in my personal life.
So we haven't been having this time we normally have.
Right. And for me, it just seems like I've been away from you so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I miss you. And I meant that when I said that. I miss you.
I know, because I definitely miss it too. And I caught myself like, damn, I'm a little jealous. But again, I love, that you are enjoying the moment, like how you said, doing what you're doing. And again, like I said, we don't have to, yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
We do gotta talk at least some time a day. But again, it is also healthy for us to have, our time apart at times. It's not gonna always be how we want it to be, and it's okay. But as at least we know that. But friend, if I need you, we're only a text away, a call away.
Oh, no doubt.
And we're not too far from each other. We live not too far from each other, which is really fabulous too. So, but let's start our hot topics. Well, first of all, guys, I wanted to speak on something because if you guys noticed that the last affirmation was we are sober. And I myself, Jordan Brown, is on my third year. August 4th made it my third year of being on. Of the day I made up my mind to stop drinking and drugging and partying and a lot of different things that consisted under that umbrella. And just change my life around for the better. August 4th was the day I made my mind up. I went through a little. I went through like a month or two. I tried it. I almost backslid. I did. I almost backslid like around October, but God made sure that I didn't. He definitely got my attention, which really shook me up to the point where I was like, like that was the final straw. But again, August 4th was the day that I really made up my mind, like, enough is enough.
August 4th, your journey began.
Yes, the journey began.
Would you describe your feelings, maybe what you were going through in a way where you can get our guests to understand that who they see now um, would be non-existent had you not, did what you needed to do for you. Like, can you explain how uneasy that
Yeah, it was hard. It was definitely, well. First of all, it was one thing I can say that I know that me and her talk in our private time about is that I've always been one of those kind of people that I never went around saying, "Oh, I'm going to stop," or listen, I promise I'm going to stop this time, or I'm not going to do it this time, or if I got caught doing something or did something, I would be like feeling sorry and telling people that I would just do this or do that. But what I always keep a conscious mind of is knowing that one day I would stop. Like I always would always say, and I always would look up to other associates and friends that had stopped and calmed down and stopped drinking and doing what they was doing. I was like, I admire you. And I was like, I can't wait to the day that I will be in that position where I will not be drinking, where I will not be, partying, where I will not be popping pills and doing all that kind of stuff the way I was indulging in it, because I was heavy in it to a degree. Like it's real heavy. It was real heavy. And I'm not gonna lie. I dealt with addiction really pretty much all my life.
And so it sounds like you were able to use like maybe people that are around you or that you may have seen, use them as a personal, like maybe life guide, role model in a sense.
Yeah.
To say like I'm gonna be like that. Like I need to be like that.
Yeah, because like I said, because I know one of my closest roommates, one of my roommates, my roommate at the time, because like I said, we had our time, we indulged, we partied together, we did stuff together. But I remember that he kind of was first in it. He started stopping. He started like kind of challenging himself to stop doing, certain stuff for a certain amount of time. And even if he did like start again, well, certain stuff we completely stopped, but like certain stuff like as far as but it was still good of even him challenging himself. Like, listen, I'm going to stop doing it, and that's how it started. It went from like challenges, like I'm going to stop, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to chill off of that. And then like I started seeing him doing it, and I just was like, I can't wait till I'm strong enough to be able to do it. And I just kept speaking it into existence, like even in them days where I like maybe I didn't see it clearly, but I always just be like, it's gonna be one day where I'm gonna be like, I don't want that.
That's dope. It's like you called on. It's like you called the frequency of discipline.
Yeah,
for yourself.
Because it's crazy. Because like I said, I did use alcohol as a way to really get over a lot of stuff. Like anytime anything used to pluck my nerves, make me upset or whatever, I would go run and get me a little bottle, a little something, be sipping, and then it would, like I said, liquor for me was the gateway to everything else. It would be then once I started drinking, then it was time for me to get the pill. Or get the egg,
like a domino effect.
It was like domino effect. And then, like I said, me not knowing the damage it was doing, thank God that I'm not where I could be at, and my body is not where it could be at, because I was really damaging my body and my temple, not even realizing it. Like I was really I'm one of them kind of people. I'm extremist, so it's either I'm gonna go home, or go hard or go home. Like I'm not one of them ones. If I'm like, I have a addictive personality, so if I like something, I'm gonna keep doing it. Right. And at the time I liked it. And like I said, I've been out here, on these streets since 14. So, it comes with some parts of the lifestyle. When you put yourself out there, again, I could have, like it was my choice, because I could have stayed home, but I decided to go and be who I wanted to be. And a liquor and, and stuff like that was a way to cope with, especially during that time, sex work and, having to go out on the stroll and, having to do all that, touching these creeps, having these creeps touching you.
Right.
It just,
Well,
It's kind of like how strippers say when they be like, "Look, girl, I got to drink when I'm on that pole." You know, it's just the same thing. You out there on the stroll, on the pole, on the stroll. Go from the pole to the stroll.
That's street facts.
For real. Either you on the pole or you on the stroll. Which one? Like, during that time. But I thank
Street
God again
facts.
that, again, so to anybody that is dealing with addiction and, it might be a little hard right now and you might be still, indulgent, but those that may have stopped, congratulations to you too. However many years that you might got in, even if you just started, congratulations. Even if you over in a day without something, a couple hours. Look,
Straight up.
every little something matters. And I even have to realize too that I had, because I even had a situation where I caught myself not giving someone grace for their wanting to get over something, but still struggling. And it can be hard when you're dealing with someone that might be like a loved one or a lover or someone that kind of wants to stop doing something that they know is detrimental to your relationship, but it's been hard. And a lot of times we get on our paths and be to us at a certain place in a certain space, and sometimes we forget that it took us a little, may not that way, but again, we have to learn how to give grace. So I caught myself and I asked the person to forgive me too. Because I said, one thing I love about myself now is that I can hold myself accountable. And I love that it doesn't hurt me to hold myself accountable. Like, I love it. Like, I love being able to be like, look, my bad. I'm sorry. Like, maybe I did get a little bit besides myself in the way I expressed it because I was angry. But, excuse me. But again, that's how I feel about this. And I don't want it to be, I guess I don't want it to be unheard because of the way I said it, because that's a lot of times we get mad when people don't understand where we be coming from, but it'd be a lot of times our delivery. That'd be the reason why they be like, girl.
Or sometimes people just
don't get it.
They don't get it. And we can't, no matter what we do, we can't yell, scream, cuss, and get people to get it, but
that's another story. But again,
and
you can do it, guys. You can do it.
If
I can do it, you can do it. And I'm gonna always, like I say, every year, I'm gonna make sure that I don't care because it's a reminder to me. So I'm gonna make sure I remind myself every year.
And it's a holiday for me.
Yes. Well, thank you.
It is a holiday for me because you're. I commend you. That's what you're doing. What you've done, like is very inspirational. Especially knowing where we come from
and knowing what.
Yeah, that's what in a collective where we come from, and
kind of what the lifestyle feeds off of.
Yeah.
More so. It don't really feed off of positives.
I remember somebody once upon a time told me, who's not here anymore, he said, he used to tell me things like, the girls don't live to a certain age. He was like, I came out with a generation of girls who are no longer around. And, I was getting the messages out of that from him. But now that I'm of a particular age, I can't stop hearing these words, and I've come up with my own messages in a sense. Whereas though, like, for you, you're inspirational, and I commend you. And I'm just always going to be grateful and thankful for you because once upon a time I used to say I don't know anybody from my generation, and now I do. And I don't only, for me, I feel like I don't only know you. I know you. I know what you've been around. I know what you've
And it's funny because we've been able to like kind of get into it, even if it has been on the outside, kind of looking in from both perspectives. We've still been able to get a good feel about each other through social media, through conversations, through other people, through different things, and that made it even better. And like how we always say, even in our personal time, that I think it made it. I'm so glad that I'm in the perfect mindset that I'm in. And now because I'm able to cherish this friendship more than anything, and it's not built off of like trauma.
Right. It's for me,
it's a healthy type time.
And I think that's where my my last inspiration came out. Like when I said we are rewarded for our work and nothing else. I just feel like a friend like you, if it did land in my lap once upon a time in my life, I was too distracted with whatever I was distracted with to pay attention to. Now I don't have those distractions because they mean nothing to me. Not only that, they had to come to a point where they didn't mean nothing, not just by not me caring. I had to care about everything that I thought I had to care about. I had to remember what I thought I cared about, and then not care about it anymore. Like just literally let it go.
Yeah.
And like you, it's not easy giving up things that we're so comfortable doing. That come almost second nature. It's not easy. Nobody talks about the arguments that we have. It's almost like it's a literal withdrawal.
No,
it
for real.
Really is. We lose friends. We have unnecessary arguments. The frequencies between comprehension.
People not seeing the new. We're not knowing distinguishing the new you versus the old you.
Yes, living trying to keep you in a disposition. Nobody likes to talk about that, and that's what I mean when I say like it's not easy. Nobody prepares us and says, oh, it can be easy. They just look at, oh, I know how she used to be, but who she thinks she is now. Better than that. She's better than that, and that's all that matters. Right. You get you some too, but you got to dig in you.
Like you got to dig in you. Yes, and you can't do that by down in the next shit.
Right.
Well, moving right along, guys. Onto our hot topics. First and foremost, we have a story that really went viral this week and circulated a lot. It was a dancer from Philadelphia who moved to New York by the name of
Sage Oshae.
Yes, Sage Oshae. Okay. Sage Oshae Sibley. Sibley. He was a dancer and known in the ballroom scene and kiki scene and just in the LGBTQ community. He was a highlight of a lot of people's lives from what a lot of people said, especially even his neighbors in Brooklyn. But what happened was him and his friends were coming from wherever they were coming from. They went to a gas station in Brooklyn and they were voguing. They were approached by another group of young adults, like 17-year-olds, telling them that they can't vote, basically throwing gay slurs and saying certain things, causing a rift between both groups. So it was, them versus them. They got into an argument, whatever, and I guess got some little tussles, some words got thrown, some probably fists got thrown, of course, I think too, some tussling got thrown too. And just long story short, the young man Oshae got stabbed by the one 17-year-old guy and died. And it was all over social media. He really, and I know, like I said, the only thing it's just weird sometimes with life, but you never know sometimes that maybe it's someone's purpose, but it does sometimes, like, it makes me wonder why sometimes a lot of people have to get like their ultimate life when they pass. Because baby, the way he got his life, like, yo, when I tell you, it was so beautiful. The way New York showed up for him and justice to be served to this young man. Like, it happened, matter of fact, it happened last week after we was recording. Like, literally, it happened right last week after we was recording, like that night or that next day or something. So after what had happened, it was all over social media. For a couple of days, they couldn't find, the suspect, or whatever the case may be. He was 17 years old. He supposedly, the reason why he said he even stabbed him was because he was Muslim. It was against his faith. So that gave him the right to start an argument with another group of guys that were voguing, having fun, probably just came from enjoying. They looked like they had swimming trunks on, so they came from somewhere swimming. They came from somewhere swimming because they had swimming trunks on. They looked like they were just coming from somewhere having best. And that it was one of their parties or birthdays. I think it was either his friend Otis' birthday. I think it was Otis' birthday, who is Oshae's friend that he was with. And shout out to Otis. I don't really know you personally, but I know you through the social media. Everyone's saying that you were his friend, and much love to you. And I pray daily that God gives you the strength to continue this to go on. I know how, and I not know how, and I just, I pray for days. You know what I mean? Like, But
It's so unfortunate.
yeah,
That's
but I can
trash.
empathize with you, and just knowing loss, and I know that was your best friend, and I just pray for better days, because I know better days, but I know that you are happy that the world showed up. Like Beyonce gave him a shout out, justice for him. Whoopi Goldberg, he was all over social media, like, and they held a memorial for him. Like I chose, they held a memorial for him at the gas station where they had a ball.
Mm-hmm.
They had a ball.
I did see that.
They had a ball, and it was live. They had a ball in New York. That's what I said. One thing I can say, I'm not. No city can top New York when it comes to just, like, especially in our community, when it comes down to certain things that happen with our community. New York shows up and shows out in ways unimaginable. Like the way they showed up to Brooklyn at that gas station, yo. And then they was voguing, not only there, but different cities also joined in by voguing at the gas stations while they were voguing.
Oh, that was so decent.
Like I heard in like California, I think, I just see California right offhand, but I know they said there was a few other places as well that joined in on the tribute, and I thought that was really beautiful. I thought it was really, really beautiful, and I just pray again that our world, like, it's really disheartening that people will not just allow, and that with young, like how we've been saying, our youth is our youth. Like, yes, it's like, but as of lately, it has been our youth that has been doing the killing, the stealing, the robbing. It's not the adults. Like, it's crazy. It's our youth. It's our youth, man. They're under 20.
They're under 18.
18. Under 15.
They're
under 10.
Chuckies.
For real, it's our youth.
It's sad. It's just devastating, and like
now you gotta face time for that.
If you can't recognize that we live in the time that we live in is peril. Like,
it's perilous for sure.
Yeah, you really have to protect yourselves, and not only that, we have to control ourselves. We have to learn some type of
self-control.
So hear me out. Some type of self-control. Even if we have to tell our friends, like, chill, we're doing too much, or you doing too much right now, let's not bring attention. And it's not shining anybody's light. It's just keeping a conscious mindset that, hey, it don't matter where you at. It doesn't matter who you're with. Like, danger is, I hate to say it, but danger is imminent. This man was in his own world, I assume, having a time of his life with his friends,
having a ball coming from somewhere, celebrating somebody else's birthday,
and he lost his life
for no reason, because they were voting, having fun.
Right, we have
having fun.
We have to develop some type of self-control, and we have to always be wary and take care of each other, having each other's back. And I feel like take care of each other is exactly what I said. Look, it's a little too rowdy over here, y'all. We out.
Yeah, like that's and the piggyback off what you're saying, that's what we need. That's like how we were talking about even friends last week. You want to be around people that's going to say, look, come on. Yeah, like you said, like, look, come on, yo. Like, you doing too much, or this might get left. Like, this might go left, y'all, if it doesn't stop. Somebody got to stop it. Like, somebody got to have some kind of sense to know, okay, y'all, it's time to go. Or, no, let's not even argue with them. Or, look, it's cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Let that slide off your shoulder. Exactly. It's okay. Like, they got it. It's cool, y'all. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Instead of arguing back and forth. Instead of, like, we need to learn to, like I said, it's just the world we live in, where everybody just want to be hyped. Everybody just want to be hyped up. Everybody want to feel like they that. I don't know. It's just weird.
It is weird. That's what I say. Look, for the people in our generation, like, I hold us accountable.
Yeah.
We have to be the ones. Our 30 and up, 30 plus and up. We have to be the ones to tell our friends, like, I'm holding us accountable.
Yes.
I'm really holding us accountable. And if you're right, and we're not, and if your friends are too wild and out of control to either hear you out in a matter of, yo, I'm just trying to make sure we get out safe and get home safe.
Yes.
If they cannot equate to that, then you need to disconnect yourself away from the people.
Yeah. And like I said, and you don't want to leave nobody, but look,
right.
if you want to keep wilding out, I gotta go. I love you, but I didn't told you. Come on, at least you know. And look, at least they know that you said something. Because
Right.
enough, like, you know what I mean.
And it's not about living in fear. It's just about making sure, like, if you care about your peoples, it's just
and we're not talking about Oshae and because they was cool. We talking about the other boys because it's like, come on, like, and they was all young. If you seen the videos, those were some young ass, little ass kids. Like, but instead of saying, yo, bro, like, come on, bro, because y'all love that, bro. This is when you supposed to told your bro, come on, it ain't gonna work because now your bro gonna have to answer, regardless of how they might try to, but it's justice gonna be served.
Well, justice is already served. Oh, well,
yeah, okay, well, no, I didn't say that. Okay, but the young man did turn himself in, which was, thank God the prayers worked, because they must have, the family, like I said, he probably was spent them days probably trying to figure out how he was going to do it or whatever. But whatever.
But since it's so, but we remember, since we know he's so young, we know 15-year-olds can't hide anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if you're a parent, you might not be a parent that's present, but if you're a parent that
and I'm pretty sure his mom and him probably didn't want him, but you know, like, look, you gotta face it.
Yeah,
you gotta face your consequences. And like I said, that's why I'm saying too. Even with a lot of folks, we're not gonna get into no religious talk, but a lot of folks in these religions that they use as a way to demonize and ostracize and hurt people. Ew. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop using your religion, because for real, the Islamic faith, and even the Christianity, killing is against all of that. So I don't understand how y'all keep missing that. Y'all love to talk about somebody being gay, but y'all go ahead, sit there. But y'all keep jumping over the fact that thou shalt not kill. Like, where do y'all not get that? Baby, like I seen something this week that I think it was with Ryan Stewart. It's called The Problem with Ryan Stewart. I think that's his name. Don't quote me. I think, but he ate this clip up when he was interviewing some guy, and the guy was talking about how drag queens, just talking about how drag queens and he was getting on a guy saying how that's a person's freedom of speech and being able to display themselves. It's like, how is that hurting, a child? And the guy was like, well, it's projecting onto the children, and the government wants to protect. He said, what? The government? He said, say that again. He said, yeah. He said, do you know what's the biggest problem in our United States? And it is not drag queens. He said, what?
It's
he
people
said, what
like
is
you
it?
who believe that the government.
No. He said, it's the gun laws. He said that's what's killing. He said that's the biggest problem in our country. It has nothing to do with drag queens. It has nothing to do with gays. It has nothing to do with nobody. It's our gun laws that you guys use to kill. That y'all keep jumping over that main sin. What the that's the number one. Thou shall not kill.
Speaking of, and we did say we're not going to do too much religious talk, but I'm just going to say this. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the pastor, Kevin Wesley, but Kevin Wesley just left his church, just left his congregation.
Why?
Because he is conscious to the disconnect in his faith and what he has been indoctrinated to teach. So, in a sense, his whole thing, in a sense, is he felt he was doing right by leading and teaching the word until his discovery that the word had too many contradictions to him, and it made him think in a way that just made him feel uncomfortable, where he started questioning himself. And he said he had battled with this for years and never told his congregation or anything, because he was already in a position. And
being in that position, it can be hard, especially having the strength to say, and to follow you how you feel, and saying, look, I can't, as much as something is not connected from me.
And
because again,
he went on to say that, and he did this publicly and live, and he said, kind of like how when you say certain things, it reminds me of my interpretation that he said him doing this, the battles that he went on with himself led him to do exactly this, and those that turn their back against him or look at him any type of differently will show him, in a sense, what the real Christ-like is, and that he's exactly doing what he's been called to do. And I say that all to say, like, there is a mass walk down in the churches.
Yes, it's a mass fall away from the church. Yes,
and like I said, we're not doing a lot of religious talk, but it's something to think about. It is something to think about
because, again, like I said, for real, it has been a culture of church in the black, especially in the black community. It's a culture. Like, it's not relationship. It's
right.
Religion.
It's religion.
It's religion.
It's not tradition. It's religion.
Well, no, that too. It's tradition. It's tradition and religion, because remember, it's passed down from generation to generation. But a lot of people don't have a relationship with God.
But see, tradition stems from the root of the family. You see what I'm saying? And it's passed down. Whereas though if like, I use my family. I remember being taught about church.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Whereas though it didn't come from like the root. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it didn't come from like,
I don't know. Well, I know, for me, I just, like how I just said, it's a culture to me. Okay. I think that as black people, that we have used to masquerade a lot of things.
Or was it given to us? Well, I guess in the sense of how I'm saying it.
Right, because you're saying it's what from like this with slavery times, how they.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but given anything that's man-made is unnatural. Man-made, created, whether we were giving the talents to do so. How I say, anything that was created or indoctrined or pushed, in a sense, is a little faulty to me. So I feel like, even though I never had a problem with church, I always kind of felt
a disconnect.
A disconnect, and I didn't know, maybe it was because it kind of felt forced, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. Like, something so, the way religion describes a sanctuary, in a sense, something like that should be kind of wanted, like, I should be thrilled to, you know what I mean? But, and for me, I remember it kind of feeling forced, like.
Well, again, like I said, it goes back to again, what we have been taught. A lot of us, like I said, a lot of our families have went to church from generation to generation. They were brought up in the church. They taught us about God. Again, this Americanized Western Christianity is definitely different from what the word really is, and what, like I said, we're missing. And there is, I'm not gonna lie, there is a lot of things that do make you think, and there's a lot of scriptures, there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of things that have been taken out, there's a lot of things that have been putting in. There's a lot of, so I get the people's confusion, and also not even that, but the people that are supposed to be believers and the people that are supposed to be kind of like the spokesmen and women for God have shown a side that is not Christ-like, so it makes people, what? This guy that you're saying versus the way you treating me ain't something.
I honestly think it's fair. It's a fair question to even ask, like, given the actions behind these people that so-called proclaim, the Most High. I think it's fair to raise the question, like, what is Christ like then? Because you're not demonstrating it.
Right, exactly.
So if you're not because if you're, what you're telling me you're demonstrating is that, then everything is wrong. But to sum it up, pay attention. Like, things are happening.
Yes, but I do believe. But like I said, but again, a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are getting into the move where a lot of people are tired of playing church now. A lot of people are tired of playing church. A lot of people are
because
tired,
maybe they feel like they've been played.
A lot of people want something real. A lot of people really want something real. A lot of people want, like I said, church has, like, certain places have used God as a tool to get rich, to scheme, to some of these churches are very cult-like,
or maybe
some,
or maybe it's some type of dark magic, because
again, it's how people use for themselves.
It's the world we live in.
Yeah, the world we live in as well. But again, I always tell you, you already know it. it's about relationship with God and not religion. So you can religion all week. You can go to church every week. You can go to church every week. You can dance and scream and shout hallelujah. But if you don't have a real relationship with God, then you just going to church for no reason. You know, if it only starts and stops on a Sunday, that's not relationship. You gotta be able to. It's an everyday thing. If a relation, like how you work on a relationship, that's how you gotta be with God. That's how you gotta be, and God will show you the mysteries. Like I said, seek first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added unto you, honey. When you seek it, you'll find it, and God will show you all that you need to know. And that's it.
And speaking of who also found things, it seemed like Orlando Brown.
Oh, what?
Orlando Brown is waking up and starting to make some sense, according to them.
To
but
the
we know, according to the tabloids.
Okay, what I said, I didn't. I keep overlook. I don't know why I keep overlooking the post, but because I don't know, but I heard about it.
Yeah, I just think you know what's funny. Um, they look forward. They look forward to see the intelligent people, the conscious people. They look forward to see them doing any and everything except speaking truth and light. And in the video, Orlando Brown simply said he wants better for his life. He wants better for his son. He got to clean himself up. He got to stop hanging around certain people. He got to stop doing certain things. And he's not asking anybody. He's telling people like this is basically the people's disclaimer. Like, I'm not going to front. I'm not going to give you a side conversation, and I'm not going to give you a pass. You know, and that's what I got out of watching it. And I couldn't, I couldn't see him saying any wrong. However, I did notice, like, in the algorithm of hate, he has been spewed.
Because let's be real, Orlando has had some very, questionable. He has definitely went live a couple times, saying some crazy things, have been caught saying crazy things. So I get where people might be like, but again, when certain people wake up on certain things and they snap out of it,
it's to pay attention.
It's to pay attention to it. Yes.
And I don't. He wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't a cry for help. It wasn't fake. I think it was a wake up call, not only for him, but for somebody. But for somebody who is going through it, has gone through it, whether you're working on yourself or in the process of healing. You know what? We all know what goes on behind the scenes. And I think people like Orlando are some of the people who get put on display, who demonstrate their emotions from behind the scenes, which equates to the public eye as comedic or crazy. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like
we're lashing out.
Right. And I just think Orlando is basically on the frequency completely,
and he has a platform. Like, we can't deny that he has a platform. Regardless of whatever, people are going to listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Some way, either negative or positive. People pay attention to him because he's been very much in the news a lot of times for saying some very off the wall, very things. But again, when you see somebody like, remember that guy? I don't know if you know. Remember that guy, Boom Gang?
I remember Boom.
He used to be cutting up and carrying. Then one day he stepped out of it. That girl, Yo Vicky, too. She came out of it too.
Yo Vicky? Catch Me Outside her?
No, the other Yo Vicky, the other white girl, that started cutting up. That was all out here wilding out. Well, she too, snapped out of it one day. And again, a lot of people be like, what it is for publicity. But again, you can see by the fruit, and you can see once it's a continuous thing.
See, for me, I feel like with something like that, if you can snap out of it, then it was for a stunt. It was a stunt, and it was probably a distraction to keep you away from the people, like I said, who.
Like I said, but I'm not gonna say everybody. But like I said, but for them two. Well, I know for Boom Gang, he didn't just snap. Like, he really went live and went, like, remember he had like a whole video of him.
Right.
Really,
I believe Boom Gang turned around.
Yeah, like I said, and I mean, like, I haven't really seen nothing about Wo Vicky since she has done it. I haven't seen nothing bad about her. I haven't seen her in the news either. I haven't seen her like I say, like,
that's because she ain't got nothing that sometimes, hear me respectfully, sometimes people create people create. Let's start that. People create. And when you see what's usually trendy, everybody jumps on it. Maybe at the time, wild, crazy, in your face stuff may have been trendy. And a lot of times, if you are not creative, but you can create, then it's kind of like, respectfully, she ain't got nothing else. People, you know what I mean?
She was a little blah, but
it's like, what was your talent?
Away from the fact that she might have really had one of them type of moments.
She probably did, but maybe she didn't. I don't know.
Because I'm not talking about, like I said, maybe you might be getting who I'm talking about mixed up. I'm not talking about Catching Us Outside.
All right.
I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about, like I said, I'm gonna shoot when we go off the butt.
Yeah,
but still, it's good. If you're waking up, like I said, I think this has, since 2020, a lot of people have been waking up. And I think it's continuously happening. It continuously happen as we're going on these years. Will be a mass wake up. Where people are going to start coming into their power. Where people are going to start seeing the truth. And again, we're living in a time now where we are starting to learn a language to a lot of different things, and we're starting to come out of a lot of things that kept us in a cycle or in a circle, and I can, myself included, look. Like, it just was like one day I was on some type time, and then the next day it was like,
and see, that's decent. See, for me,
like, for real.
For me, I had to. I woke up with the idea, but I had to be confronted with it enough for me to be sick of it. Like, I'm not ashamed. I'm the type of person that I don't believe shit stink until I step in it. Like, that's just, I've accepted. That's the
honest thing I've heard.
That's who I am.
But that's, but look, right. But I think. But again, see, there's a difference between admitting it and being a person that don't admit it. Sometimes, like I said, I think even, because I believe I have that too, a little bit. I have that too, it's still kind of, even after it stink, you still like, I don't care, smelling trash spirit in my face. It's just spirit in my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that it stink, and you still like, I smell roses.
Yeah, I got to that point. Well, you remember you actually do remember my final point. And I was just done, like. But like I said, I had to do that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Just to be like, no. And even in those last times of me trying to look for, like, personal flesh confirmation of gratification, God confirmed it for me. Each of those both times, Lord. Both times he said, nope, I'm gonna show you. Turned around, I said, all right. Maybe this time. No, I said, like, daughter, no.
Daughter, knew what.
But it's a lot of stuff going on. Did you know P. Diddy was under investigation?
I did hear something, actually, like, I think it was yesterday or today or something.
Something about him being
but I think, like I said, it's about his time too, though, because he's been cutting up. He's been doing a lot of stuff that he's been able to cover up and keep behind closed doors. But a lot of people have already said that Puff Daddy got some stuff. Puff Daddy got some stuff with him.
Mr. Diddy is always in everything. And honestly, it's about, first of all, Mr. Diddy was always one of those people who was always untouchable.
There you go.
And
I like that.
If
that's very true.
From, the way I see it is, like, honestly, it's like,
it gets to a time where you got to get touched.
And everybody's getting touched. Like, we're not...
The ones that thought they wasn't going to be able to get touched are about to get touched.
And it's just so funny. Like, we remember big businesses. It went from the big businesses to the small businesses. Now it's took it down to the celebrities. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody's under fire. And it's just so crazy because a lot of people don't even really know who Tupac is.
No,
for real.
Yeah,
they don't know nothing about no Tupac. So for them to bring this,
the millennials and before us know.
So for me to bring this,
and remember that happened like 20 something
years ago, exactly. Mm-hmm. So they reopened the investigation, and now they're serious? Yeah, and Mr. Diddy is under investigation for it, for having had some type of connection to it, definitely, but. A part of me is not even surprised, and it also makes me think why Mr. Diddy was always untouchable, because she was probably always working with them, with the people,
They had some connections, paying people off.
Because ain't no way you investigate on everybody back then, and now you got to come back to Mr. Diddy. So either she paid you off for some.
But remember, like I said, from his music labels and stuff. He's been cheating people out of their contracts. Like I think there's still even NDAs now where people can't really even really read him and really go in the way they want to because they're under a contract that they don't got the money to pay for. But Diddy has done a lot of stuff.
Diddy has done dirt.
A lot of dirt that I do believe that at some point it's going to get dug all the way up, even if it means pulling some people out the grave. Excuse me.
Talking about pulling people out the grave, Miss Lizzo is pulling people off of her platform.
You better come in with it. You better come right with it.
Pulling people off her platform.
You got to touch on it.
And the people aren't happy about it. They want some stuff like.
Okay, so that's why they're. Okay, so wait, this is what's causing the stir and making the backlash come, because Lizzo has been in the news. If you guys have not seen, she's been in the news as of recently for some sexual harassment allegations. As far as she has exposed dancers to bananas, to eat bananas from out of sex workers' vaginas. This is what they say. She has also fat shamed a dancer or two, which is so. I don't know what to believe.
Here's my thing. I think everything is crumbling down. And it goes back to what we were talking about the other day. Unfortunately, if you happen to be, and I say unfortunately with love, if you happen to be somebody that just reached stardom within the last, let me say, 5 years, then unfortunately it's going to be a quick fall because of what's already going on all around the world. I hate to see this happening to Lizzo. I really do.
She already get enough of being a plus size girl, which makes me think: is it really because she did it, or is it because? What's the real?
In my opinion, I think it's because she's in a place of a piece of power, which is monetary, and they want to snatch everything they
and
gave
she's
her.
A big girl.
They want to snatch it back. She's being sued or whatever, or by I guess she has a show or something that other plus size women come on, do their thing. It's kind of like I guess they have go-sees and stuff. It's kind of think of
remember it was on Amazon. It was on Amazon. It was a show where she was looking for her dancers, whatever.
Okay,
and it was really good. It was really good. I think she won something for it, an Oscar or something. She won something for it.
Okay, so basically,
really I liked it.
She so with that, naturally all things go according to how they're supposed to: auditions, tapes, recordings. So she picks her people, and it just so happens that the girls who have something to say with their lawyers
that didn't get picked.
Or I wouldn't say aren't girls that didn't get picked, but they did pull forth their audition tapes, and these girls seem to be very eager and excited to be a part of Lizzo's plans, which, in a sense, or to the lawyers, contradicts what she's saying. It's kind of like you can't say Lizzo made you. How can you say Lizzo made you feel like this, and she made you do this, and you when
on the audio tape,
hey Lizzo, hi, it was right, and they actually pulled inserts from her videos saying like, I will do anything for you, I live for you, like you are my life, so litigants, they're basically disputing that. It's
like, what's really going
her
on?
lawyers against, I guess,
their
lawyers, and right, and they're like, whatever you think you're trying to get out of this, whether if it's more money or whether you think you can sue right. So but unfortunately, I hate to see this happening to Lizzo.
Yeah, Lizzo, because like I said, like I said, and it sucks because a lot of people are trying to say, oh, so well, because it's a woman, y'all don't want to, I guess it's everybody want to shut up, but when it was Bill Cosby or when it was this person or it was that person, y'all was going head over heels. But I think it's just to the point where it's like kind of like we still are at a place like, is this really for real? Because Lizzo has been only displaying positivity and body consciousness and uplifting, and like this is hard to believe. But if it is true, I'm going to goop and gag. But I need to see some more receipts, because I just don't like how you said. I believe when a person is becoming too powerful for a certain elite group, they have to take them down. And again, when I believe that you know, especially a woman of her caliber, where she is making a lot of women step into their and this is the generation of the women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the women are standing up, women are taking power, women are coming into control. So I know a lot of male egos are definitely going wild, but I know that they are definitely upset that a lot of these plus size women are stepping into themselves. That's what it's really about.
Yeah, they can't take
But I
the
just hope that
confidence.
it's not, though.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not. But you know they coming. They finna snatch. They finna come and snatch everything down.
Right? They gonna try to do like Bill Cosby,
snatching every. Look. They just told Jamie Foxx he had to snatch down. Jamie Foxx just had to snatch down his post.
Wait, about what?
Because Jamie Foxx posted something that he was going through with a personal friend that betrayed him, and he had wrote a post that said,
"The real Jamie."
Right. And this man just got out the hospital.
Right.
Jamie wrote the post that said, mind you, the real Jamie.
That's why I said that.
The post said, they did that to that man, Jesus. What makes you think they won't do it to you?
Oh, that was from his page?
That was from Jamie. Mm-hmm. That was from Jamie. And Sarah Jessica Parker felt attacked.
As JP?
She felt attacked. She went forward on Twitter and she flew and she basically... Oh, okay. She flew off the handle because I guess somebody has a ghost page of her. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know. And it liked that post.
So it made him think.
So it made it look like she supported it.
Right. Going off on her.
And she's like ecstatic. She's like, it has nothing to do with me. I am not with the anti-Semitism and all of this. And I don't support anybody who does, and I don't support any type of hate. Please do not connect me with this. But like you said, they just snatching everybody. I said, this man just got up out the hospital bed. Probably found out his friend was smuggling and stealing money from him.
Who knows?
And Miss Thing had Sex in the City. No, Miss Thing didn't have Sex in the City, but y'all know who I'm talking about. But all of a sudden, now you got a ghost page, and now you got to speak out. And she didn't even speak out. It was just a picture. So it could have been a Twitter bot, but I'm seeing through it.
You got a lot of that.
It's an attack on Jamie. We already know it's an attack on us.
It's a bit attack on Jamie because, like I said, even from, like I said, we don't even know.
Right.
People saying that it's connections even with this movie that just came out, Clone Tyrone. So it's a lot of innuendos. And you already know they think that allegedly Jamie Foxx is not really the Jamie Foxx that went in to the hospital. So we got a lot of stuff that we don't know.
We do. You're right.
So
it's at that point. And speaking of the hospital, on an upscale in Ohio, they opened their first Black-owned breast cancer research center.
Nice.
I thought that was amazing.
I can love a lot of people out here doing
amazing because Ohio is supposed to be like
anti-Black.
No, actually, it's
is that what anti-Black?
It's actually supposed to be like, okay, well, you know how to use
like a safe haven for Blacks.
No, it was actually like one of the original lands. When you go back and actually, if you look into maps of Ohio, you will see New Jerusalem. You will see like how the Mississippi, or what they call the Nile. Basically, they're trying to say like part of a big part of America's civilization was the cradle. Ohio was the cradle, and everybody came and spread out through from there or whatever. Because
so much stuff we don't know.
You're right. It's just so much stuff we don't know. But thank God that we have this podcast and this platform.
So we keep bringing it to you each and every week, as long as God will have it. Because look, as long as we know, we're going to keep you guys informed. Because it's time to be in the know. It's time for us to make necessary changes for our lives to be better, for us to be better mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And like I said, we just want better for our people. So this is, like I said, this is our safe haven where you can come be yourselves. And look, you don't got to worry about nobody judging you. This is a non-judgment zone. And like I said, we just come in here each and every week to bring love, laughter, light, important information to your everyday lives. And again, we're glad that you guys tuned in to another week. Another episode
of Transparent Energy.
Another installment.
Damn it.
Another installment of, again, your favorite podcast, transparent energy with the hostess, the mostesses,
Lady Baby D.
and your girl Jordan B. And until next time, guys, we love you. Spread
Ciao.
love, be loved,
Because you are loved.
look, and do something for someone else besides yourself, and brighten up someone else's day. And again, rest well, Oshae Sibley.